Modulus is a factory automation game where you have to make progressively more complex cube-based structures. I'm Orbital Potato. Let's jump in. So, this is the sort of gorgeous voxel world that we are presented with here. There's not much going on, but there is going to be more going on very soon. This is a sort of early preview build of the game. Limited amount of space is available, but that's okay. I'm sure in full release we will get access to that. Now, what have we got going on here? Well, this is the sort of core of what we are going to be, I guess, extracting in the first instance, and in fact, getting down a whole bunch of extractors would be a fairly sensible place to start. We'll get this all placed down, and then, of course, we will get some conveyor belts up and running, which we can use to transport these... I don't even know what this stuff is called, but this the like white crystalline stuff. Anyway, the point is that we are going to bang the crystalline stuff into a furnace here. And we are going to combine it in order to make, hopefully, something on the output. Nice, look at that. So, we have got the most basic resource in the game. And this is, I'm going to call it a mega cube or a giga cube at the moment, because it's comprised of lots of little cubes. And what we are going to do is we are going to change the shape through a variety of tools that we have at our disposal. For example, we've got a cutter here, we've got an assembler, we've got a... what the heck is that? A monotoner, we've got a painter, and we've got a stamper. Whole bunch of utilities that we are going to use in order to change things up. I'm going to delete them for now. Now, we have some objectives. The objectives are in the form of these buildings here. So we have a gray core facility small, and we've got a blue core facility small. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to build the core facility right here, and then we're going to be able to click on it and see what we need in order to build it. So we're going to need to get this module. Okay, fine, and we're also going to need to get this module. Both of these modules are what we are going to need in various quantities, 24 and 48, so it is up to us to try and transform the existing cubes into these modules. Now, to do that, we're going to jump on into the cutter here, and there's a bunch of sort of tools at our disposal that we can utilize in order to try and make this work. This is really quite handy because what we're going to do for this cube is we're going to split it into two components, which is fine. We can, of course, turn the cube in multiple different directions, which is going to come in handy later. It's not going to come in handy right now, though, because what we're going to do here is we are going to have two sides, boom, happy days, and we're just going to cut it straight down the middle. Let's go. Now, after that, we're probably going to want to get an assembler, and an assembler is going to do exactly what you might imagine. We are going to assemble the two components that we have into one singular component, hopefully this thing. However, I'm actually going to use a splitter in order to get the two outputs from the cutter so that we can combine both parts in the same quantity. And what we're going to do is we're going to rotate you like you, and that like so, and what do you know? Boom. We have managed to nab ourselves the exact correct component. So, after we have assembled the component, we take it over here. We do what's called adding a crane, which is effectively just a crane. I mean, it's literally just a crane that picks up the resources, and then we stuff them into the core, and what do you know? We're actually making some progress. That is pretty darned sick indeed. I'm very happy with that. That is all looking good. This is inefficient. We can actually change this up. We have a little bit of additional capacity that I'm not utilizing to the best of my ability. Now, what I also want to do is I'd like to get another splitter here. There we go. Mirror that, like so. We'll get another splitter. We will get a cutter. We will configure this cutter to work like this. There we go. And then I can't move this around. But that is not the component that I want. What I would like is this component? Yeah, that component. Amazing. So we get that locked in. Beautiful. And we'll move that over here. And then from here, we will get a crane right over there and right over there for good measure as well. And what do you know? We should be good. We should be good. Don't get me wrong, it's a little bit of an artistic design choice, but nonetheless, it's all working, and that is what matters. Let's let this complete, and then let's move on to the next stage, because there's a whole bunch of additional automating to be done. And just like that, the building should be officially complete. Fantastic. Looking good. Okay, now the interesting thing is that it is producing these gray cores. Now, we still need the existing modules, and I've actually shortened all of the cranes. I've moved the building across just a little bit so that we're wasting less time actually having all of the materials in transit, but it's pretty good. You know, all things considered, I'm reasonably happy with that. We can, of course, loop the belts around the side and add more cranes if indeed we need to, but for now, I'm happy with this. Okay, we can upgrade this facility if we want to. I don't particularly want to do that at the moment. What I would like to do is I would like to actually move on to sort of stage 2 in the building tree. This is the gray bot assembly building, and we're going to need different components in order to make it all work. We're going to need this bad boy, and we're going to need this bad boy. Two things that are sort of similar, but different. Okay, so I've made one component, and in fact I've made 2 production lines, which hopefully we're going to be able to use in just a second. Basically, sort of same replication of the process that we've got down here. We've got a furnace feeding into a splitter. This is going to give us 2 cuts. One is going to split it into 4 lovely panels. The other is just going to split it in half. This bad boy is going to combine into this piece, which is lovely, and then that's the escape button. And then the other one is going to combine into the big piece. Is going to combine into the combined big piece as opposed to the little piece. And then this is going to cut into 2 tall pieces, and then we should be able to get is it a monotoner? Yeah, we grab a monotoner, we throw that into there, and we want it to come out as black. And then, what do you know? I think that's our piece. It should be anyway. Let's see if it all works out. We'll get some cranes in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little bit less artistic than perhaps last time. And what do you know? It works like an absolute charm. Brilliant. Okay, so once this is built with these construction components, then we're going to be able to utilize the gray core that we're actually getting. Now, here's the funny thing. There's no output for these buildings, right? There's no crane that you can have as an output. The crane is purely input driven. So what we need to do in order to get an output is we need to grab one of these. This is a harvester pad. We can assign drones to collect resources from buildings. Specifically, I think we're probably going to put the drone panel over there. Then we're going to assign a drone to pick up from here. And then the drone is going to go over to here. It's going to pick up the gray core that we are assembling in this facility, which is grand. It's going to drag it back over to the drone point, and then if I want to output it on a belt, which I inevitably will want to do, there we go. It works like an absolute charm. Why is that the case? I don't know, but I kind of dig it. And you can imagine in, much larger factories, the fact that you have a drone that can traverse landscapes as opposed to being constrained to belts, I think that's going to be pretty darn sick, to be honest. I think that's going to really, really help make things a little bit smoother, a little bit more efficient. How are we doing in terms of managing to pump out all the required components for this? Yeah, we're not managing... Well, we're managing just fine, actually. There we go. Okay, so the Greybot assembly building is built. We are still continuing to get the modules that we need from here, which is grand. And now it's probably time to add... There we go. Beautiful. Add that bad boy. Get rid of that little belt there. Good. Nice. What do you know? We still need a heck of a lot more gray cores. And in fact, it's probably worth us upgrading this facility so that we can produce more. But I'm pretty chuffed with the way that this is looking. Look at that. We're stacking up the buildings on top of the other buildings. We're going to require loads more components in order to make it all work. But the point is that it's working, and as soon as we get a few more gray cores, we should be absolutely golden. Something else that I should point out is that there are, straight from the get-go, there are really, really powerful sort of blueprint options. That's not going to allow me to copy that because it's not going to be on top of any extractor points. But the point is that I could quite literally just duplicate this entire operation, manually place the extractor points, and we would be able to effectively double our production of all of these modules over here, which is something that I might want to do in the future. For now, I'm just kind of happy to wait, but yeah, it's really, really powerful that you can do that stuff. You can move as well. We can clear conveyor belts if we want to. But that's looking not too bad. Right, I've got a blue pigment refinery, which requires some new components. Okay. Okay, I mean, where do I want to build... Where do I want to build this? Ooh, what the heck is that? Not sure what that is. Is there anything across here that's interesting? Okay, this looks like the blue sort of pigment crystals over there. That's kind of cool. We've also got a blue core building, so... If the blue pigment is created by this factory by utilizing blue hexacrystals, we're gonna need the blue pigment clearly in order to build the sort of blue core facility. That's fine. Let's start the process of at least thinking about the pigment factory over here and see what we need. We need a big sheet. Yeah, there we go. Let's start pinning some new modules. We need a big sheet. We need two sort of... Okay, that's kind of complicated-ish. And then we need a big old sandwich. This is a module sandwich there. That's fine. That's fine. How's our upgraded building looking? Yeah, it's not looking too bad. It's not looking too bad. Something I will say, I'm not happy with how slow this is being loaded. So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do exactly what I said I was going to do. And we are going to throw additional components in to the facility through... There we go, through some additional cranes. Might take a little while to sort of backlog, but once it's up and running, it should be great. We're now producing 2 gray cores apiece, which is really quite powerful. We're going to need probably another production level in order to build bots at the rate that I'm sort of happy with, but that's okay. Either way, let's turn our attention to the blue pigment factory. I think we'll probably use this. Let's actually let's move this. E is the hotkey. Everything feels very sort of like responsive and sort of fresh. Feels good. I don't like the placement of that. Let's move it over here. Or maybe even over here. I'll worry about that later. Anyway, let's get a sort of basic setup, kind of similar to what we've got over here, and we'll see if we can start supplying some of the blue pigment bits. Okay, so this is kind of what I've come up with, and this should produce this component and this component. That is to say, the big, flat, black cubuloid thing, and then this, the sort of, I don't know, semi-sandwich. What we've got here is we've got the sort of regular setup. We're sort of splitting it into 4 equal chunks, which is grand. Then we're going to assemble into the nice thin chunks, and then, after this part, we're just going to throw all of this down. There we go. Almost looks like that's planned. We've got the monotoner here. It's going to print out a whole bunch of black panels. Then in this place, we're going to do this, and we're going to lay you flat. There we go. Yep, perfect. And that is going to make one of the components that we require, which is grand. And then here, we're going to do pretty much the same thing. And we're going to do that, and then we're going to do that, and then we're going to take the output, and we're going to take the output to here, and we're going to take the output to here, and we're going to drag some cranes onto where it needs to go, and we're going to hope that that is the components that we need. I think it is. The only problem is that there is probably going to be a little bit of a bottleneck here. I mean, it's quite a lot of stress and capability to be putting on this one singular assembler. So we may need to rectify that in the future, but that's fine. Anyway, the last sort of bit of the puzzle is this thing over here. And actually, I kind of have an idea about how we want to handle this. And it's just going to involve basically replicating the entirety of this setup. I've already sort of left a... that's a bit of a shame. I'm going to have to copy that again because we can't place... we can't overplace stuff. That's fine. Yeah, so it's basically going to involve copying half of this operation. It's going to do exactly the same sort of stuff that we are after. It's going to make stuff into that, going to make stuff into this, and then here, instead of having just a single sort of monotoner, we'll grab a splitter. We'll yoink that into there. Half will get monotoned, which is great. The other half will go straight forward. After that, we will cut this into 2 pieces. It'd be really nice if I could move this around, because it's in a fairly inconvenient point to review, but that's fine. Then we'll get an assembler here. We'll throw that into there, and we'll boop that into there like so. Wait for the white piece to arrive, and that will be 1/2 of the puzzle. I'm gonna need to get a splitter here, haven't I? Yeah, can I squeeze a splitter in there like so? Beautiful, I can. And then squeeze this into there like so. Another assembler. Put on the lid of the sandwich, and that is good enough to go. Okay, we've even managed to get a little tunnel, so we're tunneling under that tree there. Can I destroy the tree? I cannot destroy the tree. Okay, well, we got a nice little tunnel there. Cool. I'm happy with that. Right, let's get 2 cranes over yonder. Looking good. That is all the components that we require. Excellent. Okay, we have got the gray bot assembly. Oh my lordy, look at how many cores we've got. Okay, can I upgrade again? Let's upgrade again. Sure, we might as well. So max out this bad boy. What about maxing out you? We need loads of components. Yeah, I tell you what, let's use this opportunity to upgrade all of our buildings whilst we're waiting for the construction over here to finish. Shouldn't take too long at all. I may need to address the sort of shortage of black panels. But I mean, do I really want to fix that? I mean, to be fair, it's not a challenging problem to fix. All that we need to do is one of these, another one of these. Yep. Put that in at both sides. Excellent. Copy this. Copy this. Man, it just feels so responsive. It feels really fluid. It feels really quite nice. And then you can just go up there, right? I think that's it. I think that's all we need to do in order to effectively double up our production. That is really nice. This is a completely wasted splitter, to be fair, because all we're doing is splitting a single belt into 2, so there's pretty much no reason that needs to go there. Leave that in place. What I could do is I could build a tunnel over to there, put a splitter in here. Oh, we're already starting to get to spaghetti levels, but you know what? If it works, right? And that will give my furnace just a little bit more oomph, which is great, which is going to allow these panels to be made slightly faster. Great. Oh, and we caught the bot factory being upgraded. We could go for another upgrade, I suppose. Yeah, what the heck? I mean, it's only like, what, 48 pieces? So, yeah, no rush there. Right, the blue pigment refinery factory is built. We still need all of the original components, but we also need blue hexacrystals in order to work. These are the blue hexacrystals over here, I believe. Let's see if we can try and belt them across. I think it's just a case of... I think it's quite simply just a case of belting them in, just like any other sort of resource, which I am, of course, quite happy to do. There we go, like so. That is looking good. Okay, what is next? What is next? It is probably the blue core facility small. Oh boy, okay, we're going to be able to make blue cores. That's fine. Have we done anything with these robots? I don't think we've done anything with these robots. I mean, we're making them, which is nice. Or, well, we will be making them once this construction has been turned back on. But, I mean, there's no real use case for them at the moment, I don't think. We've got an input facility over here. This is a depot. Oh, we need to add the gray bots over to here. That's fine. I'm happy to add the gray bots to here. Let's build that there. Let's link this up to this building. Excellent. And then just get an output. I don't know what the sort of objective is, but we deliver the gray bots, and that is what we do. I'm just doing what I'm told. Also, let's add way more cranes here. There's quite frankly no reason not to add more cranes over yonder, which is good. And then we'll deliver the gray bots. Nice. Okay, we're now making the blue pigment, which is phenomenal. Let's get an upgrade set up here, because why not? I mean, we've got the time to do so. We might as well. I am going to now start thinking about the blue core facility small. We can unpin all of those things. Let's build you over here. We'll give ourselves a little bit of space, and let's have a little look at the modules that are required. It's fine, actually. It's fine. This is fine. These are definitely more complex. That's easy. We've already got that. We've already got that being manufactured. Let's get this pinned. Let's get this pinned so I can see. And then we need to think about where we want to be taking our resources from. Probably over here, I would imagine. Yeah, so let's get a sort of rudimentary setup. I mean, this is going to be the easy one to do. And in fact, we could just pinch some of the resources from our existing setup. That seems like a bit of a sort of cowardly thing to do. So I probably want to set up my own bespoke line. That's also a little bit smaller than anticipated. However, I suppose this component and this component, the white one in the back, that's kind of the same. So we can kind of double dip for this, which is quite nice. Right, let's see if we can try and get the sort of roughness of it set up. Okay, so that was relatively easy. I pretty much had the entire sort of setup of... Hold on. I had this entire component basically copied from the sort of middle line here. So this area is basically the same as this area. So that's fine. That's good. I've thrown on an assembler at the end, and now suddenly, great, we have sorted this. The easiest sort of panel to sort, I think. Oh yeah, how's my bot delivery going? I've delivered 80 gray bots. That's good. I don't think that there's any particular reason to do this at the moment. Maybe that will sort of feature in the tech tree in the future. You've got to imagine bots equals rewards. Yeah, I mean, it sounds fairly logical. Right. You know what? Let's get an upgrade. Throw down an upgrade. What the heck? I've got all the supply chains in place already. We might as well. Right. So we've got this. I've kept a splitter aside here, which is going to allow us to place an additional assembler. There we go. That is what we need. This bit's going to be a little bit more challenging. And in fact, both of these I think are going to be a little bit more challenging. This is the sort of standardized size. I've had a brainwave. I suppose this is probably what the developers had in mind. But I have a little idea about how I want to tackle this. The first thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to institute a split, or a cut. We'll get this, and we'll split it into 2 components. Yeah, we'll split it into 2 components. That's great. That's going to give us these 2. Then we're going to assemble into... I mean, yeah, it can just be done here. Yep. And then a mirrored splitter in there. We reset this. Throw this together like so. Great. Now on the output, I think we probably want to paint here. So this is going to be our next sort of interesting challenge, because we need to bring the paint from somewhere. Let's mirror that. Put the paint there. Get a... Oh, we could get a stamper. Oh. That's exactly what we need. That is legitimately exactly what we need. I didn't even think to use the stamper. What I was going to do, I was going to use the cutter to do some like weird 3-to-1 configuration. I suppose there's multiple different ways of approaching the problem, which is frankly how the best strategy games operate. Either way, this is looking good. Let's dye this whole thing blue, and we're going to get a harvester pad over here. Let's get that out there. Let's link you up to this facility over here. That's looking good. And then the drone should be able to deliver the paint from here. By the way, these buildings are all maxed out as far as I'm aware. We're all the way up to maximum level, or maximum production level, which is pretty darn sick. It looks like we could probably do with some more gray cores in order to assemble more bots. But I can cope with that not being produced at a super fast rate, because quite frankly, I don't think the bots are doing anything for us at the moment, so we don't really need to worry about it altogether too much. What are you doing over here? Oh, yes, you're important, but you're not going to be used right now. Either way, let's get the paint. Let's paint this town blue, and then that is going to fill up the tank over yonder, which is good. And then we're going to get a stamper. Is that going to work? It's going to be blue. Brilliant. Okay. I'm not sure how the stamper works. We're going to have to think about this. Oh, it's very easy. It's very intuitive. Beautiful. That's exactly what we need. That is literally exactly what we need. So yeah, what I was going to do is I was going to effectively, yeah, use the cutter in order to cut it in half and then put it all back together. But that seems just like a total waste of time now. It seems like a total waste of time. So, let's see which side is which. This gives us the pre-made component, which is beautiful. And then we need to get this back to here. Am I going to do this? I am going to do this. I'm naughty. This is very much a case of do as I say, not as I do. But I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. This is 3 belts full of exactly what we need. Beautiful. I mean, not beautiful. It doesn't really look... doesn't look great, but it will work. Right, and then this is very much a case of simple assembling. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Bash that all together. What do you know? It's like a bit of sushi. It's like a bit of blue sushi. That is gorgeous. I don't believe the rotation makes any difference for submitting things, but yeah, I mean, it looks good. Now, in fact, there's pretty much no reason why I can't just throw this down over here, right? Yeah. Bang this into a lovely configuration like so. That is fine, but I'm gonna... Ooh, nope. Cancel that. Beautiful. And in there, we add some cranes. We add some cranes. And we add some more cranes. And what do you know? It's going to be time for blue cores to be assembled. I don't think that I've missed anything. I think that is enough to just work. Beautiful. We've got grey bots delivered. We're still delivering. Are we delivering enough paint? That's the real question. I don't know. That is a very, very good question, Potato. I just do not know if we've delivered enough paint. Can I assign another drone to another building? Building's already serviced by the drone. Can we increase the number of drones that we've got? Don't know. I don't know. I suspect that we are at maximum capacity here. And we're already max. I tell you what, we could just duplicate this building, couldn't we? That would work like an absolute dream. Have I solved my own problem? My own paint-related problem? This may require some slight tweaking, but a slight mirrored... Actually, will that require any tweaking at all? Does that just straight up work? I think that might straight up work, you know? Okay, then we'll get you to be assigned to this building here. There we go. That works. And now we should have 2 pigment production facilities, which means that if we do need additional paint, we can sort it out. I'm pretty certain that it's going to be a paint-related shortage that we end up having to deal with. This is just a guess. But either way, that's 2 drones. That's fine. The production numbers, or the numbers required for production, are only temporary, so we should be able to sort of turn the corner on the blue production in just a second. But I'm reasonably happy with how that's all turned out, to be honest. Also, looks like we just don't have enough stuff in general coming in. Giga cubes or whatever the heck they're called, or, you know, that's what I'm calling them, of course. Yeah, we're gonna get some more giga cubes. We're just gonna pile on as much junk onto the conveyor as we possibly conceivably can. That'll do. Throw in additional furnace stuff, and we'll just sort of go through the whole splitting operation. We don't really need to sort of prescribe exactly where it's going to go. There's just not enough stuff on this bit of belt for me to worry about that, so we should be fine. Aha! We have finished our blue pigmentation building. Very nice indeed. Okay, we're able to manufacture blue cores now, which should be great. We still need more of these sandwich components, or these sushi components, I should say. Everything looks like a sandwich component if you think about it. But yeah, we need a little bit more sushi, and then blue cores. We are able to manufacture blue cores. After that, I don't know where we stick them. I don't know if we need to do anything else. I guess I'll see if we can just try and pick them up and throw them down on a drone thing here. But that's looking pretty good. Okay, and with that, we've got ourselves a blue core, which I would presume would go into a blue robot or something. But yeah, I don't think we have it. I don't think we have it. I mean, I can throw it into the bot depot. I don't think that will work, quite frankly. No, it doesn't. But there you go. I think that's probably it for the demo at the moment. I am really excited for Modulus. I think this is going to be an excellent little game. It feels really responsive. It feels really fresh. It looks good. It feels good. It's good. It's good. It's good, and it's going to be good. And if we're only looking at blue stuff, there's purple stuff, there's red stuff, and there's yellow stuff to go. I can't wait. Can't wait to see more. I really can't. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm an Orbital Potato. Thank you ever so much for watching. Wishlist the game if indeed you're interested. Links down in the description as ever. I'll catch you next time. Bye.